When I was 11 years old, I was killed by a group of boys dancing around a fire at midnight. My final act is Simon in Peter Brook's Lord of the Flies. It was one of those extraordinary things that happens to you in life. One day in June 1961, I was looking forward to a summer holiday of who knows what. The next day, out of the blue, I was cast in Lord of the Flies, a film about to be produced with no money on a remote Caribbean island. 3 days later, I was boarding a Pan Am flight from New York to Puerto Rico with 30 other English boys. The cast of characters was headed for a deserted pineapple cannery, refurbished as a summer camp on Vieques Island. Accompanying us was Peter Brook, the director, and a cadre of photographers, producers, sound people, and grips. I still remember today, 50 years later, the united energy of those days. We spent those first mornings sitting in the shade under the palm tree as Mr. Brook recounted Lord of the Flies in terms that a group of boys could understand, but without ignoring the story's significance. We were to live our roles, speak in the best British accents that we could, adopt our screen names, and think in terms of those characters. Evenings and mornings were filled with the regimen of living in the warehouse, which was fitted with cots and mosquito netting. There was a kitchen, a dining room, a wardrobe room, and a makeup room where we applied smelly pancake makeup to our bodies. The days were spent filming and learning the meaning of patience as we shot scenes over and over again until they were right. Offset, we snorkeled, explored the cane plantations behind the pineapple factory, published a paper named the Vieques Variety. We entertained a dog named Tramp, and we even wrote a script and made our own movie, Murder for Money. We caught lizards, we went fishing, we played chess, and we lived summer life of boys at camp under the paternal watch of a group of counselors and a few of the mothers. In spite of our flights of fancy, Lord of the Flies was the business of the summer, and we spent it living out author William Golding's vision of a decaying society of a group of British boys stranded on a tropical island. The film was a fortuitous labor of love. We had all come together, sacrificed, unified in the moment, and endure what was necessary to get the job done. The island was gradually transformed from a paradise into one of fear, savagery, and destruction. I was Simon. The boy was pensive, quiet, thoughtful, batty, according to Piggy. I had short lines and symbolic roles. As Simon, I did not believe in the beast, and I left the group to climb the mountain. But I was misinterpreted as the beast itself and brutally stabbed by the dancing throng. Although I didn't think about it much at the time, in hindsight, my death scene scares me. It was night. The spears, those wooden stakes, were quite real. We were excited, brandishing flaming sticks around a bonfire on a beach in a real storm. I really did emerge from the bushes into the center of a raging crowd, screaming in terror. I was stabbed by the boys with sharpened sticks, and I staggered to the water. Of course, nobody actually hit me with a stick. They had been seriously warned about that by Peter Brook. The reality is that we didn't quite live the story. The drama was not real life. Nobody was killed. Nobody was even in danger. We ate 3 meals a day, and we wrote letters to our families, and we watched the rushes. I'm proud of my role as Simon, and always have been. In Lord of the Flies, I really related to nobody in particular. My role provided a connection between the boys and the natural world. In my real life, perhaps, this had an impact on me. I went on to become a forester, and today that is still my profession, and perhaps a link to my life as Simon. Peter Brook managed to see the essential raw material of personality in small boys and to exaggerate those traits. I had never realized until now that I had the best part in the film. I had been the good guy, and so I never carried any baggage into the world that related me directly to Simon, When the film came out in New York, it was unrated, so I could take all my high school friends and we could have a good party. Little did I know that in England, other boys were enduring the stigma of having performed in an X rated film. And I may have been lucky too. Back in 1961, when the phone rang asking me to interview for parts in what became great plays, that I declined. Even at that age, it had become easy to see the price of glamour of the stage. Except enjoying high school and college productions, I never went on to act. Even if I had, the highlight of my career might well have been Lord of the Flies.